to say, yeah, I'm an artist. It took me a long, again, I came from a blue collar family where you worked. Everything you did, you pick up a hammer and you hammer it. That's like you can see, you can hold it in your hand. It's not like artsy stuff.
Yeah.
And so it took me a long time to acknowledge that I am an artist. And but now I embrace it.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time
to
acknowledge that.
How was the music scene that you were immersed in on the East Coast? How did that differ, and how was that experience for you moving to kind of the mecca of music, Nashville, and trying to experience songwriting in that part of the country? Well,
I'll tell you, it's in some ways it's drastically different, and in some ways it's very, very similar. In fact, the first time I went into the Bluebird, it reminded me so much of Folk City. It was like going back. It was almost like, geez, is this the same town?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the quality of the performers and the writing, certainly at least the part that I was in, Nashville is light years ahead in terms of where I was at the time. It was because these were in Nashville. These are professional writers. This is what they do.
Right.
And you have that. Obviously you have it in a city the size of New York. You have that too, but it's not as concentrated. It's more spread out. In Nashville, there's 15 to 20,000 songwriters right in Nashville. And Nashville, although it's grown quite a bit, it's nowhere near the size of New York City, and it's all pretty much concentrated in one or two areas.
Right. Yeah.
And so everybody in Nashville is a songwriter or knows somebody who is a songwriter, has some kind of connection.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. And it was a bit intimidating at first because, but even like as a performer and playing my guitar, I mean, you think you hear the best, and then you go out in some of these places, and somebody just knocks it out of the park, and it's like, holy cow!
Yeah.
It was kind of like, geez, I don't even know if I want to play in front of these people, because some are so good.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's the same thing with the writers. So it's interesting. I was really blessed to have had that exposure that I had where I did, and then to take it, in my opinion, it was like taking it up the next notch was going to Nashville and writing there and learning so much. I'd never co-written a song till I got to Nashville.
Okay.
Actually, that's not true. That is not true. It was a result of me going to Nashville that I ended up co-writing my first song, but it was with somebody that I met there.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I'd never even heard of it before, of co-writing. I never, other than, famous Broadway people, I'd never heard of co-writing. It was like you do it on your own.
Huh.
So
So you spend a season in Nashville, and over the course, I'm assuming during that time, and then you moved back to Texas. You picked up a couple of songwriting awards and got a new record out called "Can't Be Denied." What number is this for you?
It's actually, technically, it's my 5th CD, but it's my 7th project.
Okay.
I had a project called Sad Songs, which was an LP that I did back in early 1980s. And then I did an EP with a group of friends from New York, as a matter of fact, I did an EP that was like mid-80s. And then the CD, advent of the CDs came around in the 90s. So this is my 5th CD. And
this one is out or on the way out? How long?
It is. It technically, officially, it dropped in October 12th, but it's actually been available for a little bit longer than that.
And obviously you've written all of the songs on the CD. How long did it take you to put this one together?
This one was a combination of some old stuff and some new stuff.
Okay.
And so it's some stuff that I had recorded, but I guess written but never really recorded and released. So it was probably the recording period itself took about 3 months, but I would say probably a year and a half it took to put it together to where I thought it would be a product.
What's it look like? No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just say it's somewhat. eclectic's probably too strong a word, because the songs all have a common thread. But if you listen to it, you'll hear you can pick up different influences.
Okay.
Let's say.
Yeah. And what's it look like to be on tour with this? Do you have a specific tour schedule that you're working now, or what's playing out look like for you?
Well, I am actually working on my 2019 schedule right now. I mean, I've played a bunch of dates this year, basically promoting the new record, but I'm really focusing on 2019. So I'll be all through North America, including Canada, and I'll be doing some things, possibly even in Mexico. I've performed down there before, and I've always done really well down there, and believe it or not. And and I'm hoping also to get over to the UK. I've got quite a following over there, so possibly Australia and New Zealand, but that's kind of a long shot right now.
That's awesome.
But I'm getting a lot of airplay there, which is always amazes me.
Yeah,
always amazes me.
Yeah. That's cool.
I just had I'll tell you a funny thing. I just had this week. I got a message on Facebook from a guy in Ireland, and he said, "Hey, dude, my band and I just recorded one of your songs, and we love it, and we'd like you to take a look at it and take a listen to it."
Wow.
And it was really kind of is a song that I put out. It was a single for me back in 2012, and it had actually done pretty well. And but they just recorded it, so it's really it's funny because I was listening to this, and I thought, I'm listening to this song. Did I write that? Holy cow, it's actually pretty good. I was patting myself on the back. Yeah, you're all right.
That's a pretty good indication that the artist in you finds its way out, even if you don't think it does. When you can appreciate your own work and actually be disconnected from it, from the perspective of that you're not even sure you're the one that wrote that.
I know, and it's funny because you listen, you sing your songs live, and then you listen to your own recordings, but it takes on a whole nother life when somebody else does it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, you can really sit back and listen to it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
geez, this is actually pretty darn good. I can't believe I wrote that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was just fun.
So where can folks find your tour schedule, get a copy of your new CD? What's the best way to get in touch?
Best way to get in touch is probably go to my website, which is markwaynglasmire.com. Glasmire spelled GLA1SMIRE. markwaynglasmire.com, all one word. That's the best place to look. It's currently not up to date. I need to get it up to date. I've got somebody working on that for me right now. The date. I do a lot of private stuff and a lot of corporate stuff, so I don't typically post that. But I'm going to start putting that stuff on there.
Okay.
Just to fill up my schedule. But that it'll within the next few weeks that should be populated and look pretty good. So that's the best place. You can also find me on Facebook. Most of the social media platforms, and Google me. I'm on there. I actually have a Wikipedia page. How about that?
Cool.
I'll tell you, I'm styling, man. But I don't even know how it got there, but it's there. And so I'm sure it's all true.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. But, that's the best place. Probably go to my website.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Well, thanks, Mark. It's been fun.
Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate it.
Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Americana Music Profiles. Find us on iTunes at Americana Music Profiles and on the internet at AmericanaRhythm.com.